Hi everybody, this is Mr. Roche. We are working with Pente and we want to run multiple games using this the new game button, right? Um, so I wanted to check out how the thing we worked on in class actually works. Okay, so what thing am I doing here? Okay, there we go. Okay, so well, what we want is we have to do a couple of things too. We should actually make this board thing work this way too, the correct way. Um, but for right now, we want to see if the game works. Okay, and the new game button. Okay, and so I'm playing this game. Um, things are great, and let's say you know. This guy misses a capture, and it becomes a win. And the Lightstone wins in this game. And I want to pick a new game. What I want to do is A and B are already set, right? But I want to clear these, reset the board, and get to a new game. So if I push this, what happens is good. This is what we wanted, and it's the Whitestone's turn now. Okay, so that's actually good. But let's go over this to make sure everybody, can has got what we did. So what we did was we went to Pente Score, okay, and we added a link to the board, okay. So in Pente Score, there actually wasn't any link to it, and other people used to just sort of give us information, or the board used to just give us information, but we didn't know who the board was, okay? And so now we can actually find that out. Okay, so if I put a variable up here at the top of the class, it can do it, okay? So then when I do this, I can, and I also made the Pente Score be an action listener, okay? And action listeners are great for objects that get clicked and things like that because they can tell you when they've been clicked. You don't have to worry about where the mouse is and things like that. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. So what happens is when you have an action listener, that is an interface, and interfaces have specific methods that you have to implement. So we did that down here. Okay. With this public action performed. So what happens is when the event happens, the virtual runner or whatever, virtual machine will like trigger us like via the operating system or whatever, and it'll send us information about the event, and we can find out things, like the time it happened, things like that. You can figure out lots of things from that, but we don't care. We just want to wake up when this happens. And we first tested it out with a print line, okay? But what we wanted to do too was start a new game, okay? So we're calling, so now that we have a variable called my board, which is this up here, we can use that my board and call things like the start game, okay? And there's this sort of risk that this might happen without you actually setting it. And so we put this if statement here to kind of handle that, okay? Now, what we'd like to do is also have some ability to set the board game. Okay, so this is a method that can be called by the person or the entity that's setting up the game board, the scoreboard. And once the game board gets set up, you can send it. So it'll come down as GB, and GB will just get stored in the class variable. Okay, so GB is a temporary variable that only exists while this is running, and to keep the information around and run it for the whole game, you have to move it to a class-wide variable, which is one of these. Okay, which is my board. Okay, so when that happens, everything's great. Okay, and what we did was we went to Game Runner, which is the thing that sets things up, and we looked a little bit about how things got set up, because this is like the game width and the scoreboard width and stuff like that. This sets up the J frame, okay? We first set up a score panel, okay? So this sets up a score panel like that, right? This sets up the game board. even creates the game board. They both do this. Okay, and then the thing is that with object-oriented things, like the scoreboard, like at this point, is the only thing that exists. Okay, so the game board doesn't exist yet, and what we do is now the game board exists, and so once it exists here, we can call up the scoreboard set game board and send it GB. Okay, so once GB is something, I'll send a link to it down there. Okay, and then it just gets added on, and then we're going to start the new game. Okay, now the last thing we did is we went to game board and we looked at the start new game routine. Okay, where is it? Here, I can find it this way. Start new game. Okay, so it's down here. And we used to have nothing in this as an argument, like no information was passed to it, but now we're going to have a Boolean to tell it whether it's the first game or not. Okay, and then what we did was we tried to figure out what we wanted when a first game sort of happens. Okay, so no matter what, we want to reset captures because that has to happen, right? Okay, so no matter what, reset captures. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and first game will call create dialog boxes. Information. The info. Okay, like that. Okay. So, and that's pretty good for what we're doing. And then you can just kind of close up the game when you're done. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is capture captures. Okay, and we just have this here, so that's okay. I was working on trying to get the dialog boxes to have nice pictures, and there's my Pente picture. And so I'm kind of working on that. I don't know if that's a Pente picture. I guess I do. Here it is. This is the Pente picture. Yep, I want to get that as the icon, but I'm not there yet. But anyway, so these things are here, but you guys don't have them, and I actually commented them out. And then I have this thing going on here too for that, and I don't really want any of this stuff sort of happening right now. So I'm gonna go like this. Let me see. Oh, let me see. My thing's sort of messed up. So let me see. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to toggle the comments. So I'm going to keep these out because this is for special stuff. But in the first game, right, what I want to do is I want to make sure that the name gets set, right? That's scary. So I'm going to go here and, well, actually here, I can go like this. I'm going to make sure I just get the names all set up, right? So I'm going to go like this. Okay, move them here. And basically what I do is I check to see if there's a first game. And if there's a first game, then I show this dialog box. That's what that does. Okay. And then it figures out whether the computer's playing. Okay. And then this just sets that stuff up, right, on the board. And then the second one does the same thing too. So it says if it's the first game, get the name for the second person, and then that's good too. That's fine. And you can combine them all into one big if-then. That sort of makes sense too. But we also want to reset the board. We do the player turn, and that's kind of it. Okay. But the big thing is we've added this variable now to set game, or start new game. So either you tell it it's the first game or not. Okay. So we set up the first game here, okay, in Pente Runner, in main. This is where the first game comes from, okay? And so we could set up a special variable for this here, you know what I mean, like in Pente board, right? And but we can also just send it true, and that's okay, because we do set visible true and things like that. So if it is a new game, it means, true means this is the first game, and that is, and we don't do that this much, so this is sort of okay to do this here, like that. So we're gonna do that, okay, and then we restart the game now in game board, yeah, right. And so here, where we do this, whoopsie. Let me see. What was the action performed here? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. In the scoreboard, I'm in the wrong place. In the scoreboard, we do this. Forgive me. Where our action lister is, we just set this to false. So if you are clicking new game, you have already have your player. Okay, and that's kind of it. And so like if you run this, then it should reliably change and reset the board, which is a good feature. So we have this nice feature now that we just added. Okay, so this is Abe, and this is Bianca, and they're playing, and so then when you run this, it's going to work on work well. Okay, so Bianca's winning here, and then if you push the new game thing, it'll do that. You could make it smarter. You could say if there's no winner or something like that, then stop the don't let them quit. But this is okay. Actually my Bianca thing didn't get fixed, so I gotta go look at it and find out why. Let's find out why that happened. Let me see. Go to game board. Let's see. Okay, I know why. Because up in here, in Pente game board, I have an error. I also do this like twice, so maybe I don't want to do that. I'm not sure what's going on here. Wait, here, it's here. This should be P2 captured. Yeah, okay, so let's try that. So in starting a game, we got to make sure that you clear all the variables. And let's try Abe. Bianca. And okay, so Abe's getting a capture. Bianca's got another one. Okay, Abe's not gonna get that one. Abe might get this though. Let's see. There you go. Bianca gets that one. Abe's not gonna get this one, but Bianca could get this one. Let's see. Let's see. Abe's going for the win, but oh, he loses. So now he goes for capturing, and and then they play, and then maybe Abe wins here. Bianca goes like this, and Abe wins. Okay, so we need to make somebody win, but then they get a new game, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, so that's it. So we could also look at the square thing, okay, and try to get that going as well. Okay, so make sure this works. Okay, so you want to show me that works. And then maybe we could do the board perimeter thing for the second move. Okay, all right. So thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.